Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another video. Uh, Rain. It is raining as cats and dogs. Autumn is coming, so that means mushroom season is coming. So, since that season is coming, I will show you now how to make a beautiful chanterelle risotto. So let's start cooking. So as you can see, this is a very creamy risotto, and I put on top there a lot of beef roast and the delicious chanterelle mushrooms. So I will show you everything how to make it, and we start off with chopping bottom mushrooms, white bottom mushrooms in this case. Um, just chop it as fine as you can, or use a kitchen machine to make it almost like a pulp. The smaller it is, the better it is for the end result.
People knew her by her will to make it whatever she put her mind to. Late night hours up the hill, serving coffee to strangers, talking about revenue. She kept dreaming of a world big enough for everyone. She knew it must rain before it grows.
So now that everything is finely chopped, put it in a big pot because we bring it to a boil later on. But first we gotta do is mix in 40 grams of salt and just leave it there for an hour so that all the salt already extract a lot of the liquid from the mushrooms. And we leave it standing for about an hour. After that, we add about 400 milliliters of water and we bring this to a boil.
She kept dreaming of the day butterflies survived the wheel, even though she got knocked down and never showed. Dear Lily, where'd you go? Where's your heart at? Why'd you fall back? Lately, your afterglow is shining brighter, waking up an easy egg. I remember her in songs, decades old, but it doesn't matter. Stumble across some memories.
Once it's boiling, let it boil for about a minute and be careful that it doesn't boil over. And once that minute is over, just take a strain and sieve it. Just save the liquid, but also save the mushrooms. We're gonna use it later on.
Memories try to recall before they all shatter. She kept dreaming of a world big enough for everyone. She knew it must rain before it grows. She kept dreaming of the day butterflies survive.
Now that the mushroom stock is done, it's time for the chanterelles. If the chanterelles are big, just tear them apart a little bit so that they are all about the equal size, and just melt about 50 grams of butter in a pan and add some thyme and rosemary into it. Once the butter is melted, put it on a lower heat and add the chanterelle mushrooms so that they can fry and saute a little bit and get a little bit of color. You don't need to put this on high heat. Low heat is fine as well. It gives, maybe it takes a little bit more time, but the result is all the same.
Butterflies survive the wheel, even though she got knocked down and never showed. Dear Lily, where'd you go? Where's your heart at? Why'd you fall back? Lately, your afterglow is shining brighter, waking up an easy egg. Dear Lily. Where's your heart at? Why did you fall back lately?
So now that the mushroom stock is done and the chanterelles are fried, it is time to make the risotto itself. Add a little bit of oil in the pan and put in there the mushrooms that you saved from the stock, just the fine pieces. It will add so much more flavor to your risotto as well. Add some thyme and rosemary to it as well while frying it. It will give a rich, delicious taste. Now once most of the oil or some of the oil is gone, add the risotto rice, the delicious creaminess, and it's a special kind of rice because it has more, not more starch in it, but because of the shape, it easily releases the starch. And fry this as well before you add the mushroom stock.
Where's your heart at? Why did you fall back lately? Your afterglow is shining brighter.
Now this entire process might take 15 to 20 minutes. So each time you need to keep stirring. So the trick is to keep stirring the risotto so that while you stir it, you kind of break the rice apart, and that will releases its starch. After uh, after all the rice is cooked, which is, you taste it after 15 minutes and you can decide for yourself, turn off the heat and add the butter and the Parmesan cheese. Just keep stirring that uh, because the risotto will still be warm. So even though you don't have the heat on, the butter will melt through it and the rice and the cheese will melt through it as well. And it slowly cools down a bit so you get that nice cheesy effect of it all. And it will become nice and sticky all together as well.
Hey, you couldn't see it coming. You might have thought it, but you couldn't change it. Hey, it's not right or wrong. It's about trying, find the silver lining. Rain and fire, highs and lows, you name it. Cold and warmth, laughs and cries, you have it. The world goes by, and by the time it does, you missed it. You didn't see it, flew by.
Now, as you can see, my risotto has almost no liquid in there anymore, and it becomes quite cheesy. So if it needs a little bit more, just add a little bit of water so that it becomes a little bit more runny as well. Do be careful. The idea is that most of the liquid is gone, so it's not swimming in a puddle of water. All the water needs to be in there, and that once that is done, basically your risotto is done and you can plate it up. Now what I'm plating here is the risotto itself, and I'm adding there also a part of beef roast. And I can show you in another video how I did that, but it's not necessarily needed. It's just a nice extra to it. So bon appetit and enjoy your lovely mushroom risotto with sautéed chanterelles.
You will miss it if you don't catch it.